December 1864. Nashville shivers under winter rain. Confederate General John Bell Hood camps in frozen trenches beyond the city walls. Inside, Union General George Thomas waits patiently. Washington demands immediate action. Lincoln telegraphs daily warnings. Grant threatens his removal. Thomas refuses attacking until conditions guarantee victory, not merely combat. I am John Bell Hood. 2 weeks ago at Franklin, I lost 6,000 men, including 6 generals killed. Now I crouch before Nashville's fortifications with 30,000 exhausted survivors. Retreat means admitting failure. Advance promises annihilation. Pride chains me here while winter tightens its grip. Thomas will be my executioner. They call him the Rock of Chickamauga, the Virginian, who chose Union over homeland. His sisters erased his name from family Bibles. Now he commands black regiments alongside white troops. Everything Hood fights against stands inside those walls. This battle transcends military theory. It will determine whose America survives this war. December 14th brings thawing ice and firming roads. Thomas finally moves his 70,000 troops. The plan: crush both Confederate flanks simultaneously while fixing Hood's center. His cavalry rides undetected toward exposed rebel positions. Hood suspects nothing. His own horsemen chase phantoms miles away. Dawn approaches. Annihilation waits with the sunrise. James Steedman commands the Union right flank black regiments carrying double burden. Former printer turned general, self-educated in warfare. His soldiers must prove their worth to a skeptical nation while fighting for families still enslaved. They will hammer Hood's left while cavalry sweeps his right. If Thomas succeeds, Hood's army vanishes from history forever. Morning fog lifts on December 15th. Artillery thunders. Steedman's black troops advance against Hood's left. Rebel volleys tear through their ranks. You watch them continue forward, stepping over fallen comrades. Confederates expect panic. Instead, disciplined fire answers theirs. These men fight for more than Union. They push rebels backward through long afternoon hours. 16,000 Union cavalrymen circle Hood's right flank like wolves. James Wilson's troopers carry Spencer repeaters 7 shots without reloading versus Confederate single-shot muskets. Hood's cavalry rides elsewhere chasing ghosts. Wilson dismounts his horsemen, deploys them as infantry. The rebel right collapses. Hood's trap begins closing from both directions simultaneously. I watch my flanks crumble like sand castles before tide. My center holds firm, but centers cannot win when wings disappear. Night brings retreat orders 2 miles south to new positions. Men abandon equipment, trudge through freezing mud. Officers plead for withdrawal to Alabama. I refuse. Tomorrow I stand again. Pride demands it, though reality screams otherwise. Thomas telegraphs Washington. Enemy retired during night. Grant prepares removal orders regardless. He wants pursuit, not telegrams. But Thomas plans methodically. Tomorrow brings not mere defeat, but complete destruction. Officers position artillery through darkness. Cavalry moves into blocking positions. History will judge this patience as genius, not hesitation. Dawn approaches again. December 16th. Dense fog shrouds Overton Hill and Shies Hill, where Hood's diminished 24,000 dig fresh entrenchments. Ammunition dwindles. Food grows scarcer. Deserters slip away hourly into Tennessee woods. Yet Hood orders his band playing. Defiant music drifts across frozen fields toward Union lines, his final gesture, before extinction arrives with morning light. Thomas attacks everywhere simultaneously. You watch Steedman's troops assault Overton Hill's steep slopes. Bodies tumble backward. The attack stalls against fierce resistance. For hours, Confederates repel every charge. This small victory means nothing. While they fight desperately here, cavalry and infantry swarm both flanks again. The noose tightens. Escape becomes impossible now. Colonel William McMillan leads his brigade storming Shies Hill. Rebel fire cuts men down. The line continues upward. Bayonets gleam. A tremendous yell erupts. Suddenly, Confederate defenders break, running. Panic spreads like wildfire. Units disintegrate instantly. Soldiers throw rifles aside. The Army of Tennessee stops being an army. It becomes panicked mob, fleeing annihilation. Hood gallops among retreating troops, shouting unheeded commands. Men stream past him like floodwater. Officers' voices disappear in chaos. Entire regiments vanish into darkness. Overturned wagons block roads. Stampeding horses trample abandoned equipment. Union cavalry pursues relentlessly. Thousands surrender. Artillery pieces captured intact. Everything Hood brought to Tennessee now belongs to Thomas. His army dies tonight. I am a Mississippi private running through darkness. Shiloh, Stones River, Chickamauga, Franklin, now Nashville. Each battle fewer friends survive. Each defeat cuts deeper. I throw my rifle into a ditch. The war ends for me here. I will walk home 200 miles. Nobody can stop me anymore. Let officers keep their dying cause. Union soldiers pursue through freezing night. They capture artillery batteries intact, crews too exhausted for spiking guns. Cavalry rounds up hundreds stumbling through darkness. A Tennessee regiment surrenders together. Their young lieutenant weeps openly. 4 years of war conclude in this muddy field. Prison camps await. Home feels impossibly distant now to these defeated men. Hood's shattered army fragments completely. Some units maintain discipline. Most dissolve like smoke. Soldiers scatter into Tennessee countryside where locals hide them, provide food, help them disappear. Others trudge south toward Alabama, without orders or hope. Officers become stragglers. Generals lose commands. 60,000 men, once now scattered ghosts, haunting winter roads southward. Lincoln celebrates Nashville's overwhelming victory. Grant grudgingly acknowledges Thomas's success. You see the war's Western theater close forever. Hood's army cannot recover. Sherman marches unopposed through Georgia. Confederacy loses offensive capability west of Appalachia. Outcome no longer holds doubt, only timing remains uncertain. Nashville decided everything except when fighting finally stops. Black soldiers return to camp victorious. They prove themselves under concentrated fire. White soldiers witness their courage firsthand. Newspapers report their exemplary performance. Frederick Douglass reads accounts, weeping with pride. These men fought for recognition, equality, future, not merely union. Nashville granted them that hard-won recognition. History will eventually remember their sacrifice. Perhaps 15,000 effective soldiers reach Mississippi by year's end, all that remains of Hood's once mighty army. He requests relief from command. Richmond grants it immediately. Later, he will write memoirs blaming subordinates. History judges truthfully, though. His reckless Franklin assault and stubborn Nashville stand destroyed the Army of Tennessee. One general's pride cost everything. Thomas earned lasting fame at Nashville through careful preparation, infinite patience, perfect execution, yet history often overlooks him. Grant receives credit for Eastern victories. Sherman for his devastating march. Thomas quietly saved the West without seeking glory. He simply won when winning mattered most. Nashville proved his ultimate vindication against all doubters. Snow begins falling across silent battlefield. Bodies lie frozen where they fell yesterday. Burial details work through bitter December cold. Local families offer homes as makeshift hospitals. Surgeons operate continuously on wounded from both armies. Nashville transforms from battlefield into vast hospital ward. Victory's human cost becomes horrifyingly visible. Celebration yields to somber mourning. I write home from prison camp, describing battle's final moments, watching my line collapse, trying rallying men who simply walked away. I question why we fought so long for a cause now clearly lost. My letter never arrives, though. My wife receives death notification instead. She will raise our children alone, telling them I died bravely for Tennessee. Nashville civilians emerge cautiously after battle concludes. They discover transformed landscapes scarred by war. Trenches cut through hillsides. Trees bear bullet wounds. Fields hold battle debris everywhere. Some families search desperately for sons who fought either side. They find graves marked with hastily carved wooden boards. Death recognizes no allegiance or uniform color. Union cavalry continues pursuit deep into Alabama. They capture Hood's entire supply train, hundreds of wagons, thousands of animals, everything sustaining an army. Confederacy cannot replace these catastrophic losses. Nashville's tactical victory becomes strategic disaster. Western Confederacy collapses logistically. Sherman faces no organized opposition ahead. War's end accelerates daily toward inevitable conclusion. Confederate survivors trickle homeward through January. They arrive unannounced, barely recognizable skeletal, ragged, hollow-eyed shadows. Some never speak of Nashville. They bury memories deep inside. Others compulsively retell stories, seeking understanding through repetition. All witness their cause's death there. Nashville killed more than an army. It murdered hope itself among surviving Confederates. Thomas occupies Nashville as military governor, treating civilians fairly and former rebels with dignity. His Virginia upbringing taught honor. His Union loyalty taught duty. He balances both perfectly. Black refugees flood into the city, seeking freedom's protection. Thomas establishes camps, provides rations. Nashville becomes sanctuary. War's meaning transforms from battlefield conquest to humanitarian mission. You observe historians debating Nashville's true significance. Some call it the decisive Western victory. Others note war continued 4 more months. Both perspectives hold truth. Militarily, Nashville destroyed Confederate offensive capability forever. Psychologically, it demonstrated inevitable Union triumph. Confederacy could no longer field armies capable of meaningful resistance anywhere. Defeat became merely timing question. Hood's veterans scatter across the dying Confederacy. Some join smaller commands. Most simply go home carrying Nashville's memory, forever the battle where everything collapsed, where officers fled, where courage meant nothing against overwhelming force. They will tell grandchildren distorted stories. Shame will gradually soften into philosophical resignation. Truth will blur with protective self-deception over time. Union soldiers receive furloughs after Nashville. They travel home briefly, telling families about the advance, breakthrough, pursuit. They describe Confederate collapse enthusiastically. Their stories emphasize victory's completeness. They omit frozen corpses, dying screams, prisoners' devastated eyes. War's glory works better than war's truth for folks safely back home who never witnessed battle's horror. December 1864 ends. 1865 dawns ominously for Confederacy. Nashville's importance grows with hindsight perspective. The battle ended Confederate hopes west of Appalachia permanently. Sherman will reach Savannah unopposed. Grant tightens his Petersburg stranglehold. Lee's army stands completely alone now. Confederacy becomes one desperate force in Virginia. Nashville made this inevitable. I survey my Tennessee land after armies finally depart. Fields lie ruined. Fences burned. Livestock gone. I own nothing except scarred earth and bitter memories now. I supported neither side openly. War came anyway, taking everything regardless. I will rebuild because I have no choice. Nashville's battlefield becomes my farm again. History moves forward. I remain here. Black soldiers who fought at Nashville receive recognition slowly, grudgingly. Official reports praise their battlefield conduct. Some white officers publicly acknowledge their demonstrated bravery. Frederick Douglass speaks eloquently of their service. Yet, full equality remains frustratingly distant. They prove themselves in battle. Society still resists acceptance. Nashville represents one step forward. The journey continues long afterward. Hood resigns command officially in January. He will never lead troops again after destroying them through hubris. Later, he marries, prospers briefly in business, dies young in yellow fever epidemic. History remembers him as the general who annihilated the Army of Tennessee through reckless ambition, exceeding ability. Nashville sealed his reputation forever as cautionary tale. Thomas continues commanding faithfully through war's conclusion. He never seeks political office afterward. He serves honorably, treats former enemies generously. When he dies in 1870, the nation mourns genuinely. His funeral procession stretches for miles. Veterans from both armies attend respectfully. They remember Nashville. They remember the general who won decisively yet harbored no hatred. Nashville's trenches slowly disappear under peacetime progress. Farmers fill them methodically. Grass covers scarred earth. Trees grow where artillery once thundered. The city expands rapidly. Buildings rise on former battlefields. Only scattered markers remind visitors what happened here. The dead sleep beneath modern streets. Their sacrifice purchased Union victory. Names fade. Memory persists through deliberate preservation. I rarely speak of Nashville. It represents my cause's death witnessed firsthand. I watched our army dissolve. I experienced defeat's totality. Some veterans write memoirs omitting Nashville entirely. Others describe it briefly before moving quickly past uncomfortable memories. Tactical details matter less than psychological impact. Nashville showed us the war was lost. Everything afterward proved merely painful epilogue. Nashville receives less recognition than it deserves from history. Gettysburg gets grand monuments. Vicksburg gets national recognition. Nashville gets footnotes, despite Thomas's brilliant double envelopment destroying Western Confederate power completely. His careful planning, patient preparation, decisive execution demonstrated military mastery. History favors dramatic narratives over methodical genius. Nashville suffers from appearing too perfectly executed. The Army of Tennessee never recovers from Nashville's catastrophe. Remnants serve in Carolinas under Johnston. They surrender with him at war's end. These veterans remember when their army numbered 60,000 strong at Chickamauga, Shiloh, Atlanta, Franklin. Nashville killed them though. They simply required 4 months finishing dying. Their army's grave sits on Tennessee hillsides forever. Nashville's civilian population rebuilds quickly under stable Union occupation. Commerce resumes. Schools reopen. The city grows throughout Reconstruction as railroad hub. Industry flourishes. War's physical scars fade. Psychological divisions persist for generations, though. Former Confederates resent Union victory. Former slaves celebrate hard-won freedom. Nashville contains multitudes of conflicting memories. It always will contain them. Modern Nashville barely remembers December 1864 anymore. Music City's reputation completely overshadows its Civil War history. Tourists visit recording studios, not battlefields. Yet that December battle ended Confederate hopes west of Appalachia forever. Thomas's victory enabled Sherman's success. Nashville's significance exceeds its recognition dramatically. History sometimes forgets its most important moments without deliberate preservation. You find Thomas in Nashville headquarters writing reports methodically. He never exaggerates accomplishments. He credits subordinates generously. His victory report lists facts without flourish. Grant reads it, finally appreciating Thomas's quiet genius. Lincoln sends congratulations. Thomas files the telegram away immediately. He never sought glory. He sought victory. Nashville provided both. He values only one. I sit alone in Mississippi with my scattered army gone, my reputation destroyed, my military career finished. I replay Nashville endlessly different decisions. Better preparation, earlier retreat. Nothing changes the outcome though. I commanded inferior numbers against superior position. Pride prevented withdrawal. Nashville's defeat was inevitable. Accepting this truth proves harder than enduring any battle I fought. Confederate survivors carry Nashville's memory like permanent scars. They describe watching their line collapse suddenly, running through darkness, throwing away rifles, surrendering to pursuing cavalry. These memories haunt them nightly. Some never speak of it. Others tell stories constantly, seeking understanding through endless repetition. Nashville represented more than military defeat. It proved their cause died there. Black soldiers who fought at Nashville gained lasting confidence from hard-won victory. They proved themselves under concentrated fire. They demonstrated courage equal to any white regiment. Officers praised their exemplary conduct publicly. Nashville represented more than a battle won. It represented recognition earned through blood. Full equality remained distant. But Nashville moved them measurably closer to justice. Union cavalry returns from pursuit in January after pushing Hood's remnants 200 miles south. They captured thousands. They destroyed supply trains completely. They return, exhausted but victorious. Thomas commends them personally. Their relentless pursuit prevented Hood from regrouping anywhere. Nashville's victory became complete because cavalry made retreat impossible. Success requires destroying enemy capability permanently. Nashville's hospitals overflow through winter with wounded from both armies. Surgeons work constantly. Nurses tend hundreds. Some men recover slowly. Many die despite treatment. Burial details work daily. Victory's human cost becomes visible in hospital wards. War's glamour disappears, watching young men die slowly. Their families never see them again. Victory costs more than tactical success. Tennessee begins rebuilding immediately after Nashville concludes. The state suffered terribly during war armies, crossed it repeatedly. Battles scarred its landscape. Families lost sons to both sides. Now, peace comes slowly. Reconstruction brings new challenges. Former slaves seek freedom's meaning. Former Confederates resist change violently. Unionists demand justice. Nashville symbolizes these tensions vividly. Thomas's Nashville victory receives military analysis for decades afterward. Professional soldiers study his tactics carefully. Double envelopment becomes textbook example. Patient preparation demonstrates proper generalship. His refusal attacking prematurely showed wisdom. His decisive execution proved genius. Military academies teach Nashville. They emphasize preparation's importance. They highlight proper timing's critical value in warfare. Hood's Nashville defeat becomes cautionary tale in military academies. Historians dissect his compounding mistakes. Reckless Franklin assault, stubborn Nashville stand, exposed flanks, absent cavalry. Each decision compounded previous errors fatally. Pride prevented retreat. Stubbornness invited disaster. His career demonstrates how unchecked ambition exceeds ability catastrophically. Hood wanted glory desperately. He achieved infamy instead permanently. Confederate government in Richmond receives Nashville news with crushing despair. They hoped Hood would threaten Sherman's vulnerable rear. Instead, Hood lost his army completely. Lee stands alone in Virginia now. No Western army exists anymore. Confederacy becomes one desperate force, surrounded by overwhelming enemies. Richmond officials begin planning evacuation. Nashville made Confederate defeat inevitable militarily. Nashville rewards Union soldiers with surging confidence throughout Western armies. They defeated Confederacy's Western Army decisively. They watched enemies flee in panic. They captured thousands. They proved superior in every measurable way. This confidence permeates Union ranks. Soldiers know victory approaches. They sense war's end coming. Nashville demonstrated Confederate inability resisting effectively anymore. I walk 200 miles home from Nashville. I avoid Union patrols carefully. I sleep in barns. Locals feed me secretly. I reach home in February. My wife barely recognizes me. I weigh perhaps 100 pounds, uniform hanging in rags. I never discuss Nashville with anyone. I bury my sword deep. War ended for me there. I never forget, though. Nashville's significance grows with historical perspective over time. Immediate contemporaries focused on Eastern theater exclusively. Historians later recognized Nashville's decisiveness. Thomas destroyed Confederate Western offensive capability permanently. Sherman marched unopposed afterward. Grant tightened Petersburg's noose. Lee stood alone. Nashville made this possible. Decisive battles don't always receive immediate recognition from contemporaries. Thomas's character emerges clearly through Nashville's execution. He refused premature attack despite enormous pressure from superiors. He prepared thoroughly. He executed perfectly. He credited subordinates. He treated enemies honorably afterward. He never sought personal glory. His Virginia background taught honor. His Union loyalty taught duty. He embodied both perfectly. Character matters more than tactics. Nashville's aftermath transforms war's Western theater permanently and irreversibly. No Confederate army threatens Union positions anymore. Sherman reaches Savannah unopposed. Thomas occupies Tennessee securely. Grant besieges Lee tightly. Confederate hopes rest entirely on Virginia now. Nashville removed Western support completely. Lee fights alone against overwhelming odds everywhere. Defeat becomes merely timing question now. Black soldiers who fought at Nashville continue serving through war's conclusion. They proved themselves in battle decisively. They earned grudging respect from white soldiers. They demonstrated courage equal to any regiment anywhere. Yet recognition comes slowly, painfully. Full equality remains frustratingly distant still. Nashville represented progress, not completion. Their fight for recognition continues long after fighting stops. Hood's shattered army fragments completely after Nashville's catastrophe. Some soldiers join smaller commands desperately. Most simply go home defeated. They scatter across dying Confederacy. They carry defeat's memory permanently. They witness their army's destruction. They watched officers flee. They experienced total collapse. These memories scar them forever. All witnessed their cause's death at Nashville clearly. Nashville's battlefield slowly returns to civilian use under peacetime conditions. Farmers reclaim fields. Families rebuild homes. The city expands rapidly. Commerce resumes. Life continues inexorably forward. Yet battle's memory persists through veteran stories. Newspapers print accounts. Historians write analyses. Nashville's significance grows with time. The battle that destroyed the Army of Tennessee. History preserves what memory might forget. You return to December 1864 one final time. Nashville sleeps before battle. Two armies wait tensely. One will win decisively. One will cease existing. Morning comes. Artillery opens thunderously. Men advance. Battle unfolds exactly as Thomas planned meticulously. Hood's army disintegrates completely. Night falls on Confederate defeat. Nashville ends Confederate Western military power forever. I stand on Nashville's battlefield after victory concludes. Bodies lie scattered across frozen ground everywhere. Captured artillery sits in long rows. Prisoners crowd into temporary camps. My subordinates congratulate me enthusiastically. I accept quietly. Victory satisfies me more than glory ever could. I proved my methods correct. I vindicated my patience. I destroyed Hood's army completely. Yet I take no pleasure in death's arithmetic. Nashville's victory telegrams reach Washington rapidly. Lincoln celebrates openly. Grant acknowledges success grudgingly. Sherman sends congratulations. The nation recognizes Nashville's importance immediately. Western Confederacy collapses. Sherman marches unopposed. Grant tightens his siege. Lee stands alone. Nashville accelerated war's conclusion measurably. Thomas's patience, preparation, execution purchased decisive victory. History will remember this eventually. Hood leaves Nashville in permanent disgrace. His army scattered, his reputation destroyed, his military career finished completely. He will resign command officially. He will never lead troops again. Later, he will marry. He will prosper briefly in business. He will die young. History will judge him harshly forever. Nashville represents his legacy pride destroying the Army of Tennessee fatally. Nashville's survivors on both sides carry battle's memory forever afterward. Union soldiers remember decisive victory. Confederate soldiers remember total collapse. Black soldiers remember proving themselves. Civilians remember armies passing through. Each perspective holds truth. Each memory shapes understanding differently. Nashville means different things to different people, but all agree December 1864 changed everything permanently. History records Nashville accurately over time. Thomas won decisively. Hood lost completely. The Army of Tennessee ceased existing as effective force. Confederate Western resistance collapsed permanently. Sherman marched unopposed. Grant besieged Lee. War's outcome no longer held doubt. Nashville made Confederate defeat inevitable. Yet recognition came slowly. Dramatic Eastern battles captured attention. Methodical perfection seemed anticlimactic. December 16, 1864. Evening falls on Nashville's blood-soaked battlefield. The Army of Tennessee lies destroyed. Confederate Western power is broken forever. Union victory stands complete. I stand silently among the dead, having won war's most decisive Western battle. I saved Union's Western position permanently. I demonstrated military genius. Yet I seek no glory whatsoever. I simply did my duty. Nashville proved me right. That suffices.